Welcome to Nicholas 11x12. Today I'd like to dive a little deeper into the gaming aspect of a monitor I've recently reviewed. The EIZO FlexScan EV2750 27-inch QHD monitor. Although that clearly is a premium class office business monitor that isn't really intended for purposes such as gaming, playing games, I did discover in my review you actually can indeed play games with this EV2750. Maybe not as well as competing screens that are geared specifically towards gamers, but it's a good enough reason in my eyes to present you this video. First of all, if you're interested in that monitor, be sure to watch my full review of this EIZO EV2750 so you get a better idea here. But right off the bat, I want to inform you about the crucial specs of this EV2750, specifically important for gaming. We are for instance looking at a typical response time gray to gray of 5 milliseconds and a pretty standard refresh rate of 59 to 61 Hz. The used LCD panel IPS gives us the answer on why that's not really a fast screen. Another important aspect is the screen resolution. 2560 by 1440 here, or 1440p, or WQHD. None of the new refresh rate synchronizing technologies by NVIDIA or AMD are supported, namely G-Sync and FreeSync respectively. But in 2016, can we still game without these sweet bonus features, just like in the good old days? So let's fire up some games. As you can see, I'll be running Far Cry 4 at the 2560 by 1440 resolution, and for the sake of this test, I'll turn off any AA anti-aliasing so we get a good idea on the sharpness caused just by the screen resolution, nothing else. Now take a look at how the game looks like with the same exact graphic settings just with a 1080p resolution. Without any AA enabled, there definitely is a pretty good increase in sharpness visible. Also take a look at scenes in games GTA 5 and The Witcher 3 here. Pretty impressive, although the jump from 1080p to 1440p isn't that big in terms of sharpness on topic whether anti-aliasing is needed or not. 4K for sure makes a much bigger difference. However, to many gamers 1440p looks sharp enough already, especially when you can't crank up graphic settings due to limited GPU horsepower. High resolutions do tend to make graphics cards work harder, thus leaving you with a slightly lower frame rate than with 1080p for instance. But rest assured, most modern gaming GPUs these days can handle 1440p fairly well. When it comes to ghosting and input lag, sure, there is some since we're not sitting in front of a 1 or 2 millisecond monitor with a 120 or 144 Hz refresh rate. Certain gamers, especially the ones that we're used to game with, such gaming monitors, probably will have a bit of a hard time getting used to gameplay with such an office monitor, but the EV2750 also has a benefit to it, if you will. That being the phenomenal color reproduction, the accuracy beats those fast IPS gaming monitors by far. Of course, not all gamers care that much about accurate colors. And that leaves us with the final aspect, VSync, G-Sync and FreeSync. The EV2750 will have to rely solely on the now a bit dated old school VSync to eliminate screen tearing. While it does work, the majority of gamers will keep that feature turned off, since the frame rate usually takes a huge hit. Not really the case with NVIDIA's G-Sync or AMD's FreeSync technologies. So screen tearing could indeed be an issue with this monitor, just like in the old days. I personally don't feel too distracted by the tearing, but I do understand many gamers are. So to sum things up, what I want to say here is the EIZO EV2750 by far is not the ideal gaming monitor. However, like certain people have said and will still say, it's not suitable for gaming at all, well, that's incorrect. You can game with it. You'll just have to wave the best gaming experience. What that means comes down to the individual gamer. So while this isn't a monitor intended for gaming, it's still not too bad at it for an office screen. I happen to enjoy gameplay with it as a casual gamer. But of course I'm more of a content creator and not so much a gamer. With that said, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe and visit my website to sometimes see videos there earlier.